The drill press is great for drilling holes because it gives us a lot more pressure to help drill that hole. Plus it's more accurate and it drills holes perpendicular to the face of my material. So let's set this up for our first hole. I'm going to use just a standard twist drill bit on this first one. I'm going to put it in my chuck, just kind of tighten it up by hand. Then I'm going to grab this chuck key and then tighten it up. We're going to put the chuck key back when we're done. We never want to leave the chuck key inside the chuck. On the smaller drill press, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to tighten up the chuck by hand, and then our chuck key is located up here. It's spring loaded, so it prevents you from leaving the chuck key in the chuck. So I'll tighten it up. When I'm done, put it back. The next thing I'm going to do is bring the bit closer to the material. So that means I need to raise up the table. To raise up the table on the larger drill press here, I'm going to loosen it back on the column. I'm going to hold the table. I'm just going to pull it up close to the bit. Then I'm going to lock it back to the column. On the small drill press, if I need to raise up the table, first I'm going to unlock it over on this side. Once it's unlocked, now I can take the handle, I can just crank it up until my material is close to the bit. Then I'm going to lock it back in place. Next, I need to adjust the speed. In order to adjust the speed, we're going to turn on the machine and then we're going to turn this handle. It has to be moving because there's a bunch of gears and pulleys up inside of here that need to rotate in order to move the belt. Whenever we're using a twist drill bit, a smaller diameter bit, we want to drill at a speed around 1500 RPMs. If we look up at my handle, there's a pin here that says right now it's close to 2000 RPM, so we need to slow it down a little bit. So I'm going to turn it on, turn the handle until it's close to that 1500 RPM mark. On the small drill press, I don't like you to adjust the speed too much. I'll have it set around 1500 RPMs. So when I turn on the machine, you can see a digital readout here. The digital readout starts climbing really, really slow. So right now, I kind of stopped at 1510 RPMs. That's real close to what we need. It's kind of hovering between 1500 and 1510. If you do need to change the speed on this one, the speed adjustment is right here. You can turn it either way to slow it down, and you see it dropping right now, or speed it back up. But again, that digital readout is going to move real slow on you, so you got to make slow adjustments and then wait for the speed to match the digital readout. So now I'm all set to drill this hole. I'm going to keep my hands 4 inches away. If you're sure you can hold it, that's absolutely fine. If you want, you can always clamp it down to the table, or if the piece is real small, maybe you want to use the vise. Either way, you need to secure the material. So I'm going to hold it down tight to the table. That way it won't lift up off the table when I bring the drill press back up. Start it. I've got a backing board under here. The backing board is nice solid material that's going to prevent chip out. Got a nice solid material underneath my hole. I'm going to line it up. And when it's where I need it, just plunge through. You can feel when it drills all the way through and then starts drilling into the backing board. Then you can just raise it up. I'll shut it off. And if I look at the back of this, I don't have any chip out because I had solid backing material. And if the bit ever gets stuck in the material, all you got to do is shut off the machine, wait for it to stop, and then you can dislodge it from the bit. So that's a simple hole. Now let's set it up for a different type of bit. I want to use a larger diameter bit, so I am going to loosen up my chuck. I'm going to grab a Forstner bit. A Forstner bit is great when we're drilling large diameter holes or perhaps counterbores. If I look at the side of my bit, it gives me a suggestion on the speed. It says max 620 RPMs. So that's what I'm going to have to set the machine to after I get the bit in here. Just put the bit in, tighten it up, put the chuck key back. Turn it on, adjust our speed down, about 620 RPMs, real slow, so slower for larger diameter bits, faster for smaller diameter bits. I'm going to line up my other hole this time, but let's say I want to make a counter bore. That means I need to cut to a specific depth. So I'm going to set my bit about halfway through the thickness of my material. Then I'm going to take these two little depth stops here and twist them down. And I'm going to double check my setting, and I'm going to twist the two together. The same thing goes on the smaller drill press. It's the same kind of setup. So now the bit will only drill halfway into the material. So we can turn it on, I'll line up my bit, and plunge through. So there's a counter bore. Now other types of bits that we can use on here, we could use a hole saw. Again, larger diameter bit, that means we're going to want to go pretty slow with this type of bit. You could also use these paddle or spade bits, that's fine. Countersinks, hole cutters, or plug cutters, I'm sorry. But the one bit that we cannot use is an auger bit. The problem with auger bits is that they're usually set up for a different type of drill, a hand drill. I'll show you that in a second. But if we look at this, the tip of the auger bit looks like a screw. It's threaded just like a screw. So if we're even turning at 620 RPMs with this, it's going to want to dig straight in that material and just plunge straight down and jam it up. That's not good. Another reason we don't use an auger bit is because it's four-sided. If I look at the shank here, there's four different sides. Four different sides don't go with my three-jaw chuck. And lastly, it's tapered. That shank is tapered. It's not straight. So it's not going to sit in the chuck straight the whole time. So the only place that you can use an auger bit is with one of these hand drills. Okay? You turn it real slow. That way the screw threads can dig into the material. And it's not going to dig in too fast because you can't turn it that fast. Now, if we've got round stock that we need to drill through, then what we need to do is put it in a V-block. I'm going to set the V-block down on my table, then I can put my round stock here, and it's not going to roll on me. Okay? If we have it just on flat material, it rolls too easy. So this helps you give a little more control and stability.